needed to break down a lot of strongholds that I had. I love like putting stuff together and designing, but I hid that side of myself for so long. You know, why can I sit here right now and talk to you about masculine and feminine and business? Because I once burnt out. Like, God, what do you want me to do? Use me, let me be a vessel, make it known, like, who am I and what am I even good at? But the messy middle is the in-between of, oh my gosh.
All right, everybody, welcome back. I am so excited to introduce you to today's amazing guest. We're reporting live from neither of our home cities.
No,
we are here in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, meeting in real life for the first time.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, and we'll get into this, but like how you can energetically feel, I think, even through apps and the internet. But anyways, please help me in joining Emily Ford, who is an unbelievable brand expert, brand strategist, brand master, global speaker, and incredibly integrity-driven human. So, Emily, thank you for being here.
I'm so honored to be here.
Yeah.
And like, how fun is it that we're meeting up in Coeur d'Alene?
I know. It's perfect.
It is so perfect.
Yeah. It's wonderful. So I would love for anyone tuning in to learn a little bit about, we were talking about messy middle before this.
Yeah.
Right? And so anyone who's seeing your journey now, probably, I think it's very common where people can look at where somebody's at and assume that they were always there.
Oh, 100%.
Right?
Yes.
So let the people learn a little about you, whatever you feel like, inspired to share, whatever feels authentic for you.
Yeah, it's so important. Like, you see the highlight reel, right? And depending on where you've met me in the journey, like if you're new to me or if you've been somebody who's been with me for the past decade, the people that have been with for the past decade, they've been following me throughout new businesses, new relationships, all the things. But something that is really on my heart to talk about is this thing called the messy middle. Okay, what does it mean to me? Right. Well, I started with a health and wellness company when I was 23, flat broke, living in Minnesota. I figured it out, became a 7-figure earner by the time I was 26. So changed my life, did that for a long time. And then I knew that it just, my energy was dropping doing it. And I needed to move on with my life, which was scary, which was, well, what am I if I don't do this? And, my identity is so wrapped up in that business. And, following that call though of curiosity, I need to explore new things. I just, when you know that your time is up in a season, right? But then navigating the past handful of years of, well, what is the next thing? What is the next business? And who am I? And what talents and gifts do I have that I could actually create something that's epic? And so the messy middle is that period of, it's not like it. When it's it. Right. When you start a new business or find the person you're going to marry, it's it. The messy middle is the in-between that nobody really talks about. When you're going to have to find yourself, accept yourself. For me, I needed to break down a lot of strongholds that I had in my mind. And those are basically just limitations that I made up about myself. I had to literally break them down, and try new things. Little things that fail, right? Businesses that fail. Of course. I was, for a hot second, I'm like, oh, I did this coaching program. I don't like coaching. It's not for me, until I found what I'm doing now, which is called Fortify, which is my branding agency that has taken off so much that we're so blessed. But the messy middle is the in-between of, oh my gosh, I'm working, I'm plowing, but it's not working. And who am I in that period? And it's so draining,
I think, there is so much value that you just dropped there, right? We could unpack each of that for hours, but some things that really stood out to me was, I think you highlighting how we talk about rock bottom moments a lot. You hear that a lot, and you hear where people are now. But to your point, the messy middle is not really spoken about. And I think the messy middle is kind of a roller coaster. like, oh my gosh, this is working. No, nope, didn't. It's like a detour, and it's supposed to be because it's messy.
Yes.
And, it's that seeking, and maybe you can speak into this, but transitioning from that seeking of what's the answer, what's the answer, what's the answer, what's the answer. And I think that seeking creates this like gripping energy. Right? Desperate. Yeah.
It's forced.
Yes.
Like when you're speaking of that, I can feel my I clinch.
Yes.
Because I can literally take myself back to my old office and my old house when I was in that messy middle where it felt so forced. And I was like lying to myself. I could convince myself to work because I'm guessing most people that watch this, they're like us.
Right.
They can plow, they can make stuff happen.
Right.
And it just wasn't flowing.
Right.
And it felt so forced. And then eventually something has to break. We're like, this isn't working. Okay, I surrender.
Right.
Really, and that's really what I did,
Right.
is surrendered. And I go, what would this look like if I actually built something that I didn't despise, that I actually, what could it look like? And to allow myself to even go there. And I think it's because I grew up with a lot of struggle and trauma. So it's like, if it's not excruciatingly painful, then I think, oh, it must not be it.
Right. This is too easy. It can't feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like truly.
Yeah.
And
well, it's like it's developing a comfort level, right? And a sense of safety.
Yeah.
Subconsciously in that discomfort, in that like pain and that angst and that struggle. I think it's very common. People will recreate that struggle and struggle and struggle, and they'll wonder why they're constantly in a state of struggle, no matter what the relationship is or the job is. But it's because they've regulated themselves.
It's your emotional home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's so common. Now, something that I would love to hear your thoughts on is, I think that there can be, especially in social media, this idea that everything is always supposed to feel good. And so, yes, of course, we don't want to force and we don't want to be, creating places of struggle. But the reality is the messy middle isn't always going to feel good. And I think oftentimes we're so quick to make that wrong.
Yeah.
Or we have to get out, or we have to escape, or it's supposed to feel good, or I have to know the answer. So I don't know if you could speak into like your experience on that, or what might support somebody listening in the allowance of maybe discomfort.
Yeah, first of all, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to not have it all figured out. It's okay. It's perfectly okay.
Yeah.
And there might be a season where you need to go into the woods.
Right.
And you need to get quiet. And you need to heal parts of yourself. And that's what I needed to do.
Right.
Because so much of my identity was wrapped up in how much money I made and what circles I was in. And I had to like die to my own self and really realize like that stuff is not who I am. Like, who is Emily when you take off the makeup and when you take off the Instagram and like, if you can learn to get quiet with yourself and really listen and heal and deal, like that's gonna bring a whole nother level of awareness. And when we're chasing things all the time, we can't even hear, and a lot of times people will say, well, I'm a busybody, I need to stay busy, I constantly need to be doing things. And for me, I'm like, that's a belief that you have. Right. Actually, you just have trouble sitting still with yourself.
Correct.
Right? Like
100%.
It's such a belief, and so in that in between, my thing is this: seek the kingdom of heaven, and he will bring all of the answers to you. So for me, I stopped relying on Emily, and I just said, like, God, what do you want me to do? Use me, let me be a vessel. Make it known, like, who am I and what am I even good at? Right. Like, I literally asked the Lord, I said, who is Emily? And I could hear, not this like audible voice coming down, but I could hear through the people, the things he was exposing to me. You are creative. Emily, you are a creative person. And I was in sales for a decade of my life and I stopped being creative. I'm actually love to create.
Yeah.
I love it. I love like putting stuff together and designing, but I hid that side of myself for so long. So I'm like, I'm creative. Stop stifling my creativity. So I just started listening to the Lord, and I'm like, okay, well then what's my next step with the creativity? And then it led to someone needs help with branding. Emily, you can do this,
Right.
and then that exploration. So trying new things. So you have to co-labor with God. That's the thing. We can't just lay in a meadow.
Right. Totally.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And like, we're going to be set,
Yeah.
You also have to listen and then co-labor. And it's like a dance,
Yes.
Yeah. And then you literally start dancing. And what happens when you start dancing? You flow. And that's really where like the release is, and it's like, oh my gosh, like this is actually bringing me joy, and this feels good, and doesn't have to be that hard.
Exactly.
And then for us women, it's like we're now more in our feminine, because that's my thing. I was in business for so long where I was like masculine, and we still need to bring out
100%.
our masculine, but I'm like, there is parts of me that I didn't even know existed because I was operating from such a masculine state.
I mean, finding that calibration and that duality in the dance. First, you made me laugh because I live in Tulum. And so often I hear this all the time. And I'm like, I have to just meditate on it, or I'm just going to sit and manifest on it. And like, of course, there's always an element of that, but it can be very passive sometimes.
Right.
And I really love how you articulated it, that it's really a co-creation.
Yeah.
Right. And it's a dance. So we don't just sit there and await. It's like, yes, you open and you allow, but you're also in that maybe masculine, like you have to be in the duality. And I know for me, I was very much in the masculine in the beginning. And then I went the opposite way. And I was like very much in the feminine. And I couldn't like figure out how to find and flex into both. It was like I thought I either had to be wearing like goddess dresses. You know what I mean?
You had to be baking cookies, or you had to be like, let's go. Just kidding.
No, like I look when I was like trying to find that feminine side of me, and I was wearing like goddess dresses every day, and like that's just not me. Like I was trying to be in almost like a brand that I wasn't.
Yes.
Like I was trying to be in the feminine and just allowing to be in the feminine. So in a way, I was taking a masculine approach to being in the feminine.
Yes.
Like I'm going to figure this out, right?
Yes.
But I don't know your experience because we haven't spoken about this, but for me, I actually find that the more that I can find that balanced masculine in my work, in the driving and the vision of leading my team, actually the deeper I can completely counter and seek out countering in the feminine in other parts of my life.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. For me, it's like deepening my faith has made me more feminine because I don't have to force. It's like faith is believing in the unseen. So it's like where I was like forcing for so long, where now it's like I flow so much more. Like, so the deeper I go with God, I feel like I flow more. And then of course, like being a businesswoman and I have multiple enterprises, what I've really learned how to do is shut off and theme my days correctly.
Yes.
And even nighttime in my house, it's like 7, 8, jazz music, candles. Like I don't want bright lights.
Right.
I take a bath.
Right.
Like there's just so many things, because all day, like there's some days where all I do is zoom, no matter what. It's like zoom, like
what's that song?
Yeah, zoom, zoom,
no matter what.
Yeah. I don't even know. I just made what. But like,
no, I'm gonna send it
to
you.
Yeah. So it is, and when things are going on and it's exciting and it's closing deals and this and that and the other thing and making big stuff happen, and I can find myself when I get in that state. It's like I can whip nays, like I can like I can, and I love it. Yeah. But then it's like I need to choose fraba. Like I gotta like you know. And so it's being so aware of yourself. And I think what's absent is awareness for women. We have to be aware. Yeah. Because my husband does not want a drill sergeant.
Right.
Maybe something. No, it was good. But he doesn't. Like he wants me to be his wife.
Right.
Plus his partner.
Right.
So that's something I've really like awareness for me. Like even in my relationship with him, like when I first met him, like he's like, no, I just want to healthily lead you. I just want to lead you. I literally had to just like sit on my hands. Yeah. Because I'm like, I don't know how to let a healthy man lead me. And it's not control. He's trying to make the dinner reservations. He's trying to,
100%.
Bring me on a trip, So it's a whole thing.
Well, and especially if you have an upbringing of struggle and that wasn't secure or safe.
Yeah. Yes.
Right? The letting go and the surrendering is that much harder.
Yeah.
And then entrepreneurship. And then I think we were really fed a lot of stories that if you're a strong woman, you're proving Like,
Mhm.
I don't know, I don't want to speak for you, but I know for me, it was like, if you're a strong woman, like you're proving that you're like one of the guys. And then it's
Mhm.
like, as you learn more and you have to unlearn,
Yeah.
right? It was
Yes.
like, oh no, like there's a sacredness in the duality and in the dance. And it doesn't mean one is better than the other.
Yeah.
It means that they're in contribution in complementary ways.
For sure. And for the longest time, my only mentors were men, and I
Mhm.
love them, and I'm so grateful for
Yeah.
them. But we're not men.
Right.
And I even, when we got our new building that we got in California, I literally told my husband, I'm not a man,
Mm-hmm.
and I will not be here from 5 to 8 to 9.
Mm-hmm.
You want to watch me burn out? That's going to happen like that.
Mm-hmm.
You do you, boo. I do me. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And he's like,
Mhm.
I'm so glad you're not a man. You do you. Go home. You know, because like
Yeah.
truly, that's what happens is we try to, just
Mhm.
because we can run with the boys doesn't
Right.
mean we always should.
100%.
Because that's where I would not sleep. I
Mhm.
would, you know, we're different people. We're
Yes.
like different,
Yeah.
you know, and so that's where it's like, understand, like you can be in a room with guys,
Yeah.
and again, they need to also bring in the feminine. I mean,
Mhm.
even for this event that we're speaking
Yeah.
at, it's like there's going to be a lot of masculine
Masculine.
energy.
I know.
So Eric Rock knew, like,
Yeah.
we need a little,
There's
you
a lot
know,
of ladies.
yeah, we need some like woo, you know, in
Yeah.
there, and you know that balance is
I
so
know.
needed.
I can't wait to see you on the stage.
Mm.
And it's gonna be so great. All right, so we haven't even gotten into brands, so I'd love to just
Yeah.
give the people a little something on brand before we wrap
Yeah,
up
yeah,
and
yeah.
make sure. I mean, we have the brand master in the house.
Thank you.
Yeah, one of the things that I hear a lot is helping people untangle their personal story,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I think there's this discernment in your past and your upbringing and your story and how you take that into your brand or how you don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that resonates with you. If you experienced that,
Yeah.
especially if we're talking messy middle,
Yeah.
because it might be very hard for someone to feel as though they can be like authentically on brand if they're in a mess without bringing,
Mhm.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm just curious as to your thoughts because it's something I get a lot.
So what I'm deeply passionate about is personal branding.
Mm-hmm.
Personal. We are people.
Mm-hmm.
And what I think what has happened for the last like decade is there's a lot of masquerading. It
Yeah.
is so fake.
Yep.
Truly. And we
Uh-huh.
look at a lot of the thought leaders of books we read and podcasts we listen to, and all you see is like this picturesque, like sales trainer, thought, you know,
Right.
mindset trainer, and you don't ever know much about their real life. And
Right.
I think a lot of those people are
Mhm.
starting to fade. There's certain
Mhm.
people that, again, I love them, respect them, go to their events, speak at their events. I'm like, if you could just get a little bit more personal in
Personal.
your personal brand, you would be more relevant.
Mhm.
You did crush it like 5 years ago, but now you're not, because we want to create to the human experience. And
Yep.
so something in the Fortify process is asking them, you know, what is your past that
Mhm.
has shaped you? Like having them
Mhm.
go through, how did you grow up? What did, you know, the last 5 years, what is the top 3 things that you've learned?
Powerful.
Because you're most powerfully positioned to serve who you once were.
Yes.
You know, why can I sit here right now and talk to you about masculine and feminine and business? Because I once burnt out.
Yep.
And I got so tired of
Right.
being somebody I wasn't.
Yeah.
You know, so I can talk about it now because I've done the work
Mhm.
to heal, to understand.
Mhm.
And now I want to go help all my beautiful, powerful females
Mhm.
that I know are dying inside, because
Mhm.
I was once there.
Mhm.
And so I think it's vitally important. And also it humbles you,
100%.
because none of this stuff that has happened to us is even for us. It's for other people.
Yep.
And it's not about like, how do I look?
Right.
Right? Like, I think that's where people think, oh, it's humility. Well, it's usually disguised in pride, truly.
Right.
You're being prideful by
Yep.
keeping things to yourself, that
Great.
if you would get over it and share this with other people,
Yep.
the pride would subside, you know? And so that's what I love in branding. I go there with the women and they're like, oh my gosh, this feels so good because this is actually who I am. It's honest.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean you have to like make a brand about whatever you went
Right.
through.
100%.
But sometimes there is,
Mm-hmm.
what I have found through this extraction process, there's something of their past that their heart grieves, and it's actually motivating them. Like that's the thing that they really feel called to.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, would this make you consistent
Right.
with showing up? And then,
Right.
you know, we uncover more, and I'm like, this could be a keynote, this could be a book, this could
Right.
be, and they speak with such conviction because they've actually
Felt
it and they've gone through it.
Right.
And when are we the best? When we have experience.
100%.
Like you can go out there and help people with their brands, with their business, with
Yeah.
the optimization, all the stuff you do, because you've literally done it with so many people.
Right.
You can speak with radical conviction. This is what works. This is what doesn't. And so I just think that experience of what we've gone through, I think it's so important in personal branding and to bring it to the light and humanize, and then also to be able to connect with other people that are maybe in the middle of what you got over, whether it was a month ago, a week ago, or 5 years ago.
Oh, it's so good. Thank you so much. It was like
Yeah.
source coming through
Yeah.
right there. You know, I used to always say, it's not entrepreneurship, it's humanship,
That's good.
right?
That's good.
It's like, how are you showing up as a human? And I want to really ground something in before we let people know where they can find you and learn more. But you said it's, I just got goosebumps. That's my sign. You said once you've done the work. And I think what's so important is in the messy middle, to bring it back, you do the work.
Oh, yeah.
Right? That is where you do the work. And there's no bypassing it, right? There's no avoiding it.
Right.
And we can trick ourselves and think that we can like just stuff it down or ignore it. It will pop back up. And so, yes, there's going to be so many aspects to brand, but I really do think it starts with who you be.
Yeah, amen.
Right? And I say that people don't need to know my story to feel my story.
Yeah.
Right? They can feel my story just through my way of being, even if they can't articulate it.
That's good.
Right? And that's, I think, where you're really embodied in what you're bringing forward. People can't necessarily explain it, but they're like, oh, I can feel that. And so I just want everyone watching and listening to hear those words Emily just shared and really reflect on, as you are pursuing building your brand, to go deep within.
Go deep.
Go deep.
Yeah,
Right?
deeper. I'm like,
Deeper.
That's even when I'm working on content, I'm like, deeper. Go another level deeper.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like we want substance. You know, people are tired of the vanilla.
Totally.
Like just keep going.
100%.
And what you'll notice is it's almost like you're trying to find yourself, but then you almost lose yourself in the service of others when you know, like, oh, I'm doing this work for my own understanding, but also knowing I'm going to end up serving other people. It's just like, it's 100%. Like this beautiful dance, I feel like, and it's so worth it.
Yeah. And the authenticity, I do believe, is what people are craving.
Yes.
You know, they're craving it more and more, especially in the world of AI.
Yeah.
In the world of all these things.
Yeah.
And
Freaky deaky.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could do another subject on AI.
We'll have to do.
Yeah.
We'll do another.
Like, there's another podcast episode.
Too.
Yeah.
Where can the people find you? Learn more about you.
It's Emily on IG. meetemily4.com.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Emily, thank you so much for being here.
Yes.
You guys follow her, check out her work. And I do want to end with this. You know, I had a big chip on my shoulder. We're gonna add a little bit. We might have to roll back the tapes, Steve. But I had a chip on my shoulder when I was getting into the online industry because I thought everyone was fake.
Wow.
And I thought, well, I don't want to be like that because that means I'm not real.
Yeah.
And then I realized, well, that's a limiting belief. That's your ego, right? That's a chip on your shoulder. And so it was like, well, no, instead of if you don't like the way the game is being played, go play it your way.
That's right.
Right?
Yes.
And when you do, you're going to find the people who are playing it that way too. And you were one of the first people who I saw online and was like, that is a vibe that I can vibe with. So thank you for who you be. Yeah.
I'll receive that. Thank
All
you.
right. All right, you guys, thanks for being here. Follow Emily, scope out her work, and we'll see you next time.